Lauren, last week, Attorney General Dana Nessel announced charges against 4 people for double voting in the August primary. She also announced charges against 3 election clerks. What allegedly happened and what's being done to ensure that it doesn't happen again?
Yeah, so this is a really interesting situation. In the August primary, there were 4 instances where voters cast an absentee ballot and then went to the polls in person and sought to cast another. The attorney general phrased this as kind of a perfect storm of instances where the voters were motivated to try and vote after they cast an absentee ballot, and 3 election officials locally in St. Clair Shores allowed it to happen, ignoring multiple red flags. And another wrinkle in this case is that Macomb County prosecutor Peter Lucido looked into it after election officials, the county clerk and the St. Clair Shores clerk as well, flagged it to officials. He opted not to prosecute, said it was likely that they were not trying to um, cast another ballot illegally. He suggested that perhaps they were trying to spoil their absentee ballot at the polls, which is not something that you can do. But he assumed that it was a mistake and not worth pursuing charges. Attorney General Dana Nessel thought differently, and now that case is pending in St. Clair Shores courts.
It's interesting the idea that one thinks it was maybe an accident, the other thinks it was intentional. What should a person do if they want to vote in person, but they already have an absentee ballot?
Yeah, so probably the easiest thing to do if you got an absentee ballot would just be to drop it off at your local clerk's office. You can fill it out there and fill it out, or you can drop it. That said, if you got an absentee ballot, you decide you want to do early in person voting or voting on election day, you would go, you could either bring the ballot and say, hey, I want to swap this out for an in person ballot. You can do that. Or if you can't find the ballot, you can tell them and spoil the ballot, and then essentially get an in person cast. Yes, spoiling the ballot would be the technical term for that.